Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. And welcome to another episode of the Hustle and Shine podcast for the Truth Hurt Show with me, your girl, Mel V. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Haven't seen you guys since Thanksgiving, so I hope everyone had an amazing Thanksgiving and ate all the turkey. Um, I want to give a special shout out today and drop some gems for my girl, Jazz Monique, the experience. She is an amazing event planner and decorator and balloon designer and entrepreneur. And so if you are in the South Florida area and you need someone to come and glamify your event, definitely check her out on Instagram at Jazz Monique, the Jazz Monique Experience. So today we're going to get into a pretty touchy topic. So I hope you guys are ready for an episode of, you know what it is, Truth Hurts. That's right, it's Truth Hurts. So if you tuned in, I hope you got your Band-Aids because I holds no punches and I tell it like it is. So today, our topic is, are you ready? Be careful what you ask for. And you know what kind of inspired this topic is I hear a lot of people over the time. I've seen a lot of posts. I've heard a lot of conversations of people talking about, the relationships that they want and the type of person they're looking for, or their career goals and the businesses they want, or the type of house that they want, or whatever their aspiration is. And then I tend to tell them to ask themselves, are you ready for what you're asking for? So are you? Are you ready for what you're asking for? If you got everything that you were asking for right now, would you know what to do with it? And sadly, a lot of us think that we are, but we're really not. So I want to touch on a few of those topics. So be careful what you ask for. So let's start with careers and entrepreneurial goals and things like that. I know a lot of people who see this wave of entrepreneurship and all these new businesses coming up, and they have these aspirations to want to do the same thing. But are you ready for it? Because it's going to take some work to get it. And then once you get it, it's going to take some work to maintain it. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. So are you ready to put in the work? Are you ready to dedicate the time to getting this career or getting this entrepreneurial goal that you have for yourself? And I say that to say, as an entrepreneur, in the very beginning, there weren't a lot of resources, and I wasn't making a ton of money, but I had to put in a lot of time. And so many people often want the prize at the end, but don't want any of the work that comes along with it to get there. And what happens is, by whatever, grace of God or luck that they have, they're able to start this venture, but they're not able to maintain it. And that could be because they're not mentally ready, they're not spiritually ready, they're not emotionally ready, or financially ready for what it's going to take for that to succeed. And oftentimes we set ourselves up begging and pleading, and we pray and ask God to give us certain things, and we get upset when we don't get them. And a lot of times we don't get them because He's aware that we're not ready for what comes with it. And then if we get it prematurely, we ruin it. We mess it up because we don't have what it takes to maintain it. I know for me as an entrepreneur, in the beginning, there was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of long hours, a lot of meetings that, didn't pan out, a lot of opportunities that didn't flourish. And if I wasn't mentally stable to know that this is what comes with it, there's going to be 1,000 no's, maybe not 1,000, but there're going to be a lot of no's before you get a yes, I would have quit. I would have given up. And I know a lot of people who started their businesses or are at a job looking for this promotion, and then they get it and are like not prepared for what it takes to be in that position. A lot of people, they run around this boss chick. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. But that's more than a title. Being a boss comes with a certain level of responsibility. It comes with a certain level of maturity. It comes with a level of requirement from you for that. And people want the title because the title comes with some level of respect or recognition. But there's work that goes with that. And I need us to be prepared for that. A lot of people right now, we're getting close to the new year. People are making a lot of these New Year's resolutions and setting these goals for themselves. But what are you do? Are you doing the internal work? Are you doing the work within yourself? Are you doing the research to maintain that? And I don't think that a lot of people understand that. And they find themselves in the position to then be later working harder to get caught up, or putting a lot of time into something, having it not work out, and then having to start from scratch because you didn't do the groundwork in the very beginning to be able to maintain what you're working for. And that also goes in relationships. And so a lot of people right now, people are getting married, they're getting older. People that aren't married are looking to get married. And I have a lot of friends or people that I know that have been through divorces and are now seeking new relationships. And even myself, have been married and been divorced. Asking myself the question, was I prepared or was I ready for what it takes for a marriage and then for this relationship that I want to be in now? And so many people get caught up on this title of wife and husband. And so what I need you all to understand is that the title of wife or husband, once somebody asks you to marry them or somebody decides they want to take a wife and propose, that is an acknowledgement or almost the reward, or it should be, for already having the characteristics and the things needed to be a wife and or a husband. And so I'm going to get biblical a little bit for you guys, but in the Bible, it talks about a woman being a wife, and her being a wife comes long before someone chooses her as their wife. And what I mean by that is being a wife is about you as a person. It's the characteristics you possess. It is the attributes that you bring to a situation. It is the way you carry yourself. These are the things that deem you a wife. And many women are married and are wives by title, but are not actually wives in action. And many of us are out here ready for a relationship, ready for these long-term situations, but we ourselves are not ready for that. Whether it is you haven't healed from your past relationships yet, you haven't healed from childhood traumas, you haven't done the work on yourselves, or you really don't understand what it takes to be a wife. It's more than just walking down the aisle and getting a ring put on your finger and wearing a white dress. That's not what makes you a wife. It is your ability to be supportive. It is your ability to be the neck. We talk about the male being the head of the household, as he should be. But as a wife or as the woman in that situation, you are the neck. So you help make sure that the head stays on the shoulders. You help make sure that the head turns in the right direction. You make sure that the head is stable. Many of us don't understand what that means. And we feel like because someone has asked us to marry them and we now have this title, or someone has asked us to be in a relationship or be their girlfriend or be their wifey, or whatever it is your goal in that, that once that happens, that you've somehow reached this pinnacle of status. And unfortunately, that's not it. and which is why our divorce rate is as high as it is, because you've asked for something and it was given to you, but you weren't ready for what you were asking for. When Obama was in office, everybody was like, all these women were like, I want my Barack, I want my Barack. And men were like, I want my Michelle, I want my Michelle. And it's like, are you prepared to be what that takes? I watched an interview with Michelle Obama, or a video with her recently, and she talked about the sacrifices that she made. And I don't want to say had to make, the sacrifices that she chose to make, understanding her position, in being with the man that she knew she was with, and what his destiny was, and what his purpose, and his calling was. And so she had to take a step back from what she was doing to be able to be what was needed for their family to sustain and run smoothly while he was running for senator and president and all of that. A lot of us women aren't ready to do that. Let's be real. Y'all are not ready to take a step back to support what your partner or your man is doing. Y'all are not ready to be humble enough to let him lead. We have gotten too accustomed to being in this society of the I don't need a man mentality, to where when you get one, you try to be him. And then you wonder why the relationship doesn't work. Are you ready? Be careful what you ask for. Men, y'all are not excluded, because a lot of you want to take on this role of husband and head of household, but you have absolutely no idea what it means to lead. You don't understand what it means to be able to guide a female into the direction you need y'all to go, how to lead a family, how to pray over your family, how to cover your family. But you want this. And then you wonder why the woman that you get won't do or be the woman that you need her to be, because you weren't ready for that. Sorry if that hurts your feelings, but it's true. We have to stop asking for things that we're not ready for, because we will ruin what could be great because we weren't patient enough to wait to get it when we were supposed to have it. And that's just the honest truth about things in life. We rush. We live in this microwave society where we want everything now. But guess what? I promise you, if you put some chicken in the microwave versus if you put it in the oven or cook it on the stove, it's going to taste very different. It might be edible still, but I guarantee you it's not going to taste as good as if you let it sit and marinate in that oven and bake on 350 instead of nuking it in the microwave on 1500 watts for 5 minutes. You get what you wait for. You get what you put the work in for. Stop rushing. Prepare yourself for that. Ask yourself, are you ready? Are you ready for you to receive what you ask for? A lot of people out here like, I want $1 million. I want $1 million. Would you know what to do with $1 million if you got it today? Would you know what to do with that $1 million to make sure that $1 million sets you up and maintains you for the rest of your life? Or would you be like so many people who win lotto or win these things and be broke very shortly after because you weren't prepared for what you needed to know to be able to maintain that longevity, long term? Are you ready? I remember for me, I used to be very like in a space where I don't have kids yet. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why don't I have kids? And I'm getting older, I should have kids. And then one day I really sat and I had to look at my life and my business and, the time that I have and, the schedule that I keep. And I was like, if I got pregnant today, would I really be able to deal with that? And I had to acknowledge in myself that if that was to happen, there were some drastic changes that I would have to make in order for that to be what it needed to be. I couldn't be out every night till 3 a.m. at shows and gigs and doing all of that. I'd have to make an adjustment. And so many of us are not ready or willing to make those necessary adjustments to maintain the things that we want and we ask for. And we got to get right. We got to stop asking for things that we're not ready for. Be ready. Get ready before you start asking for these things, because I promise you, if you get it before you're ready, you will ruin it. And God only knows how long it will take you for it to come back around full circle. Get ready. Be conscious of what it's going to take for what you're asking for. Actually ask yourself, what is it that you're really asking for? Because so many of us ask for things for the wrong reasons. A lot of us are out here and we want these career goals and these entrepreneurial goals, not because that's really our purpose, not because that's really what we're destined to do. It's because we want to compete. We see, Joe Smo and this person and that person doing it, and well, they're doing it and they're making this money. I want that. If that's the only reason you want to do it, and it's not because of a passion or a calling, or it's not because what you're purposed to do, it will not look the same. It will not pan out the same for you. And you will be very disappointed. A lot of you are looking at these relationship goals. Michelle Obama and Barack, Ciara and her boo, and all these celebrity and public relations that you see in these cute memes and reels that you see on Instagram that have you guys out here with hashtag relationship goals. Your relationship goal should be the person that is destined for you. That should be your relationship goal. And it's sad to say, if we got the person that God had for us today, we would destroy it in a minute, because we have no idea what it takes to maintain it, to keep it, to nurture it, to preserve it. We ain't figured out how to love ourselves yet. How you gonna love somebody else that way? And how can you teach somebody else how to love you if you haven't figured out how to love you yet? How do you want your boss or your supervisor to see you as a leader or a boss or a CEO if you yourself don't even really see yourself that way? You don't move that way. You don't act that way. You can't wait until you get into the position to then want to act that way. You have to exude those qualities beforehand. You can't show up to a job and say, oh, I'm going to learn when I get here. There are some jobs that train, but you can't walk in and want to be the supervisor and have no experience whatsoever in doing what the job entails and then be upset when they don't give you the job. You were not prepared. You were not ready for what you were asking for. That's on you. Be careful what you ask for, because what's meant to be a blessing, if you get it too soon, could turn out to be a huge disaster, and you will have no one to blame but yourself, because you begged for something that you did not prepare yourself for. Sorry, truth hurts. Some of us sit and we pray and we pray. Every time we pray, we ask God, God, please send me this. God, please give me this. God, please give me that. And it's been 6 months and he ain't gave it to you yet. And you still asking. And you have not stopped to be like, well, why haven't I gotten it yet? Because you're not ready. You haven't prepared yourself for everything that's going to come with that. Success comes with challenges. Success comes with obstacles. Success comes with failure. And many of us cannot take the failure. We can't handle the hurdles. We want smooth, clean lanes with nothing in our way, with no stop signs, with no turn signals. We just want it to be easy breezy. But unfortunately, that's not how things work. Whether it's professionally, personally, romantically, it does not work like that. And if you have not prepared yourself mentally, spiritually, and emotionally for all that's going to come with what you're asking for, you will be doomed, my friends. You will be in trouble. And I'm speaking from experience because there's been some things that I've asked for and that I've wanted so bad. And I got them and I was like, oh crap, now what? And I had two choices at that moment. I could continue doing the way I was doing it and screw it up, or I had to learn very quickly and fix and make the adjustments I needed to fix in order not to lose it. Because there's no guarantee once you lose it, you're going to get it back. So I encourage y'all, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. Because everything is not going to come wrapped the way you want it. Everything is not going to be as smoothly as you would hope it to be. And you have to be prepared for that. Can you handle the no? Can you handle the not now? Can you handle the here's a little bit, but you can get more later? Can you? Ask yourself and be honest with yourself. Because so many of us out here, we lie to ourselves. We convince ourselves about things that we know doggone well is not a fact. We convince ourselves that, yeah, I'm ready. No, you're not. Not at all. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to others about what you can and can't do. It's no shame in saying, I can't do that. There's no shame in saying, I can't do that. I don't know how. And then go learn how. Then go learn how. I'm going to jump into these comments real quick. Our Queen Pen is in the building. I'm talking straight facts. Listen, I'm trying. You know, truth hurts, but I'm trying to drop some gems. I couldn't a year ago, but having gone through and grown through all I have, I'm definitely okay with waiting on God. Girl, if that's not the best thing you can do, is wait on Him. Wait on Him. Wait on yourself. We push ourselves into things because of superficial timelines. Because society said and your family said, well, you should do this by a certain time, or you should have this, or because you've attained this, you should be here. You should have a 10-bedroom house, or you should have a Benz and a Ferrari. You should ask them if they're going to give it to you. Everybody that tells you what you should have, first of all, do they have it? Do they? Do they have it? Because we're so busy listening to people tell us what we should and shouldn't have, and they don't have it. Why are we listening to them? Why? And if they do have it, not all, but if they do have it, it's clearly not going well, because then you'd be less concerned with what I have. Stop listening to the wrong people. They will guide you to the wrong. They will guide you to be in the same place they are. Stuck. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you try to emulate. First of all, you shouldn't be emulating anyone. Be yourself. Be yourself. Because just because it looks good on one person does not mean it's going to fit you in your lifestyle. However, If you have mentors, you have people who are giving you guidance, make sure you're getting this guidance and this mentorship from the right people. You can't get marriage advice on how to have a successful marriage from someone that's been divorced 4 times. Clearly, they have not figured it out. You can't take CEO advice from the cashier at McDonald's. They have not figured it out. Nothing wrong with their life and what they're doing, but they're not in a position, they're not equipped to give you the advice or the direction that you need to get the things that you want. And if you continue to follow these people that give you the wrong directions, you will forever be going in circles and circles and circles. Your GPS will continue to tell you you have passed your destination, you are going the wrong direction, make a U-turn. Because you are following a path that is not meant for you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Because if you're not, stop asking for it. Stop. Wait until you're ready to receive what you're asking for. You want that $1 million company? Great. It will come when you're ready. When you've put in the work, when you've gained the knowledge, when you've done your part, it will come. The Bible says faith without works is dead. So you can pray and ask, but if you're not doing no work, you are setting yourself up for a very, 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 very sad situation. Be careful. Be patient. Be cognizant of yourself. Be cognizant of what you want. Be cognizant of what it takes to get it. Because rushing never helped anybody. Jumping into something to say you have it, it will be short-lived. And then you'll be sad and you'll be back at square one trying to figure out what went wrong. And the answer is what was wrong was you weren't ready. You weren't ready to be the boss. You weren't ready to be the wife or the husband. You weren't ready to be the mom. You weren't ready. And guess what I need y'all to understand? It's okay. It is okay to not be ready. Take the time and get ready. Stop feeling like you have to compete with a clock because Instagram said that somebody else did it at 22. So what? Somebody else did it at 40. Somebody else did it at 60. So what? My friend, we were talking, as I mentioned earlier, about me having kids, and I was like, oh, I'm about to be 40. And they were like, well, Janet Jackson was 50. Valid point. Be ready. Give yourself time. Learn yourself. And I'm going to speak, business, of course, I'm going to definitely speak about relationships. We've been talking about our relationships and a lot on our show because it seems to be, it's cuffing season, as they call it. Learn yourself. Because if you don't know yourself and you really don't know what you need and what you want, you will end up in a situation for the sake of saying you're in a relationship that is doing nothing but destroying you. And guess what? If you take that destroyed individual and bring it into the person you're supposed to be with, you're going to destroy them. or destroy the situation. Either way, it's not going to pan out the way you want it to. Be careful what you ask for. I'm going to keep repeating it. Please be careful what you ask for and be ready. Be ready. Whatever it takes, heal. Heal yourself. Learn yourself. Love yourself. If it's a job, a career, an entrepreneur venture, research it. Understand your market. Understand your competitors. Understand what you need. Understand the finances. Understand the marketing. Understand all of the back leg and the back work that goes into that, so that when you get it, you can take off with it. Why stumble and stutter step if you don't have to? If you just take the time to learn. We're going to all trip. You're going to all have a little stumble. But you can prevent yourself from falling flat on your face if you just take the time to make sure you're ready. Y'all ever watch like the Olympics and like sporting events? Before they take the field, they check their shoes, they make sure their laces are tied, they make sure everything is ready before they step on that field, before they step on that track, to ensure and give themselves the best possible option or the best possibility of succeeding in that race. They don't run out there, start running, and oh, wait, I got to tie my shoe. They check that beforehand. They don't wait till they get to the Olympics to start training. They train all the way up to even get into. We have to adapt that same mentality. We have to stop waiting until we get something to get ready. They have a saying, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So if you prepare yourself beforehand, it'll make everything that much easier and that much smoother when you get it. You'll be that much more of a value to your situation than a hindrance if you just make sure you're ready. There's no rush. There's no rush. And why rush to failure? Why rush to failure when you can slowly get to success? I don't know about you, but me, I'd rather take the long road to ensure success than take the short road and fail and have to start over. Check yourself. I love y'all, but some of y'all not ready. You're not ready for that promotion. You're not ready for that entrepreneurial venture. You're not ready for that man, or you're not ready for that woman. You're not. And I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. Told you come with your Band-Aids. You're not ready. And because you're not ready is why you are going through what you're going through right now, because you jumped in the fire without any preparation. And now you burnt up and you mad at the world because you didn't wait. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Wait for your time. Because when you get it in your time, I promise you it's going to blow your mind. It's going to be more than and bigger than you even thought it could be. Take your time. Work on yourself. Work on your craft. Work on your gifts. Find your purpose. Then move. Figure out what it is to be a wife or a husband. Figure out what it takes to be a partner, to be a helpmate, to be a covering, to have a covenant with somebody. Understand what that takes. Then move. Then jump into that. Because doing it beforehand is going to get you in a world of trouble. I promise you. I'm speaking from experience. Been there, done that. It's not fun. And unfortunately, when you do it prematurely, you end up hurting yourself more in the long run and having to do twice as much work to get back to where you were had you just waited and did it when you started. Oh, jump over here in my comments real quick. Tima says, oh, you cussing at people now. Prepare to be a wife, not just a bride. Oh, they don't like that. They don't. They don't. So many people think that wife is something that you get because a man put a ring on your finger and said, will you marry me? No, honey. You're supposed to be a wife before that. And I don't mean a wife as in being a wife to the man. You in your spirit, you in your character should be a wife before you decide to be someone's wife. Some of y'all can't even be a girlfriend. Some of y'all can't be a good friend. How you gonna be somebody's life partner? Sorry. Some of y'all ain't figured it out yet. And you jump into the finish line. And then wonder why you stuck or unhappy. Because you wasn't ready. It takes a lot to commit your life to somebody. It takes a lot to commit your life to a business. It takes a lot. You have to be ready for that. So many of us see the sparkles and the glitz and the glamour and the fun, and we see all that and we get excited. We have no idea what it takes. Have any of you guys ever watched like the circus or like the moving, I guess like county fairs when they come into town? And like the day before, it's like an empty lot. And then you get there and it's like all of this grand stuff. So many of y'all want to get to the fair and get on the ride. You have no idea what it took for them to put that together. You have no idea what it takes for that to happen. We just want to get on the ride and ride. But guess what? If they don't take that time and put that ride together right and make sure every screw is screwed in and every bolt is bolted down and every electrical wire is where it's supposed to be, I promise you it'll be the last time you want to get on that ride. And that's what some of us are doing in our life. We skipping some of the parts. We leaving out the, oh, I don't need that screw. Oh, I don't need that bolt. I don't know where that go. I don't need that part. And we just throwing it together. And when it fall apart, you're trying to scramble and look for that screw. It's too late. It's too late. You got to buy a whole new set. Because you didn't want to take the time to make sure all the pieces were in place beforehand. We got to be ready. We've got to be ready. That's right. Chris J said, the last ride of your life. Okay? Some of us are not careful enough. We will put ourselves in a position to be on the last ride of our life too early. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Got to get yourself right. You got to be prepared. How many of you would go to the doctor if he was like, oh, well, I mean, I did 2 years of school. I figure I know enough. So here I am. How many of y'all would trust that doctor with your life? Because he took a shortcut. I'm not. I need to see all the credentials. I need to know you went through all the training. You know all the body parts, all the organs before you come anywhere near me. Some of us just want the shortcut. We want the cliff notes. We don't want to read the book. We don't want to read the whole thing and find out what happened. Just give me the cliff notes and feel like that's enough. I know just enough. Yeah. You know just enough to get yourself set up. Stop taking shortcuts in life. Stop taking shortcuts in your relationships. Stop taking shortcuts in your business. Stop shortcutting yourself. Period. Stop it. Stop doing it. That's right. Tima said, I know that's right. No thank you, doctor. Not doctor, not done. No thank you. I'll pass. I need you to finish. I need all the years. We need to give that same requirement to ourselves. Why do we hold other people's positions in higher regard than we hold ourselves and the things we have for us? Why? If you went to the store and they gave you half cooked chicken, you'll be mad. You'll be ready to sue and turn up. Why you half cooking your dream? Why you half cooking your purpose? Why you half cooking your future? Why? Everything ain't great in the microwave. Some things you gotta let sit and marinate. Some things gotta simmer. And that's how you need to move in your life. Wait till you're ready. It's okay. If you 30, 25, 35, 40, 45, it's as long as you are making the movements and you are moving and progressing at your pace and doing what you need to do, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. Stop rushing it. Stop. Because you're going to rush yourself into a brick wall with no airbag. And then be mad at the world that your face bruised. Slow down. Take a minute. Check yourself. Figure it out. Understand. Comprehension. Woo. Comprehension is key. Understand what you're asking for and what goes along with it. Understand what it takes. And then ask yourself, are you ready to do what it takes? Because some of us are not. There are many of us who are prepared to be a wife or a husband, but you are not prepared to be a wife to Barack Obama. You're not prepared for that. You need a different type of husband. And that's okay. If you don't want to make those changes and the adjustments. But be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. Because there's certain things you're not going to be able to do in that position. Some of you are not prepared to be a CEO and be a boss because you don't know how to talk to people. How are you going to have employees? And you don't know how to talk to people. You got an attitude every day. You cussing everybody out. How long you think you're going to keep your staff? You're not ready. You're not ready. Some of y'all out here wanting to start businesses and do all that stuff, and you haven't even looked into the legal steps that you need to start your business. You out here just operating under the table. And then when the IRS catch you, you're going to be mad because you owe them $50,000 because you didn't wait. You ain't wait. You jumped out ahead. You put the cart before the horse and jumped out there and then tumbled down the hill. Are you ready? Be careful what you ask for. I just had to share this with y'all today because I've been seeing so many posts, especially about this whole wife and husband thing and the submission and being a leader. And I'm like, first of all, some of y'all need, if you are spiritual, I'm not going to force it on anybody, but if you are spiritual, you need to go back and read your Bible and understand what the characteristics of a wife and a husband are and what you're supposed to have and what you're supposed to do and what that entails. And I know so many of y'all are like, oh, they say I'm supposed to a wife and I'm supposed to just do what my husband say. That's not what it says. Again, those type of comments, you're not ready. All of y'all that get caught up by that submission word, when it says be submissive to your wife, and you're like, oh, I ain't finna listen to what he ain't finna tell me what to do. You not ready. You not ready. All you men out here that's like, oh, well, my wife can't tell, or my girlfriend, she can't tell me what to do, and she don't know, and I'm the man, and I'm the head of the household, and I do what you not ready. Because guess what? In the game of chess, the queen is necessary because she make moves that the king can't. So you go ahead and keep trying to make all the moves without your queen and see how quickly you end up in a checkmate. Y'all better hear what I'm saying and understand. Check yourself and be ready for what you're asking for. Because it's more than just the simple headline. There's a lot that comes with it. And if you're not ready for everything that comes with it, pump your brakes and wait before you ruin yourself and other people. Because one thing I can tell you for sure about people with purpose and people that are called, you got people's destinies attached to you. Whether that's your spouse, your kids, your family, your employees, whoever, you have people's lives and destinies attached to you. And if you don't know where you're going and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to sink the whole Titanic. And you're going to take everybody with you. Take a minute. Pause. Stop. Ask yourself, are you ready for what you're asking for? If you got it today, if it fell in your lap right now, would you know what to do with it? The truth is, for many of us, the answer is no. We wouldn't. And we would ruin it. All because we didn't want to wait. All because we didn't want to grow. All because we didn't want to take time to learn and invest in the things that we want. Oh, we'll invest in a Balenciaga bag, or we'll invest in some Christian Louboutins. We'll invest in those. But we won't take time to invest in the things that can really matter and affect our lives in the long run. We got to get our priorities together, people. We're investing in the wrong thing. We're investing in the wrong thing. We invest in hours and hours and hours watching Love and Hip Hop and Married to Medicine and Basketball Wives and whatever else is on there. We invest in all that time in that, but you ain't spending no time reading up about the business you want to start or the promotion you want to get or learning yourself to understand what you need in a partner and what you're willing to give as a partner. Readjust your focus. Invest in what you're looking for. Invest in what you're asking for. That's right, Vaughn. The best thing you can invest in is yourself. Invest in yourself. That time that you're wasting investing in these frivolous things, you should be investing in this relationship that you say you eventually want, this business you say you want, this promotion that you say you want, this family that you want to start. That's where you need to invest. And I'm not talking about monetarily. Investments are not just money. You invest time, research, knowledge. These are the things that you need to gain before you move into any of these ventures. And so many of us got it twisted. So many of us got it so twisted that we are spinning in circles, going absolutely nowhere because we're not taking the time. So, I hope it helped somebody today. I know the truth hurts. It ain't always easy. If you felt like some of what I was saying applied to you, well, then this message was for you. And that means it was something you needed to hear. Now take it and do something with it. Take it and go be better. I appreciate you all for tuning in today. I hope everybody is getting prepared and enjoying themselves and preparing for this holiday season, preparing for the new year, and ultimately preparing for a new you. My encouragement to you today is stop asking for things, but ask yourself, are you ready? And wait until you're ready to start asking and moving in these things that you want. It'll save you a lot of time. It'll save you a lot of hurt. It'll save you a lot of aggravation. It'll save you a lot of anger. It'll save you a lot of time. Because I'm going to tell you one thing you can't buy is time. You can't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And if you waste years doing something that you have not prepared yourself for, you are wasting time you cannot get back. Prepare yourself. Are you ready? Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it before you're ready for it. I've been your girl, Mel V. Well, I am, not been, because I'm still hurt. I'm your girl, Mel V, the MVPen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Truth Hurts. Make sure you tune in next week on Wednesday for another episode of the Hustle and Shine podcast. Stay tuned for updates on our new anthology, Valid Transparency, coming out in spring of 2023. If I don't see you guys again before Christmas and New Year's, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy holidays to all of you. We appreciate your love and support. Continue to like, share, follow the Diamond Riders on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at Diamond Riders. Make sure you check out our website at www.diamondriders.com. Matter of fact, make sure you tune in next week. I will be interviewing none other than our Queen Pen, Natima Sharif, for the launch of her, or the release of her new healing journal, Savage. Okay? Get into it. Be prepared. Make sure you order your copy and tune in as we sit down and talk with her about what inspired her to create this journal, what her hopes are, what her hopes with the journal are, and what key pointers she has for all of you out here looking to heal. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Y'all have a good night. And as we say here at Hustle and Shine Podcast, continue to hustle and shine. Y'all have a good night, y'all.